Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is us, Young Millionaire Council. We got the homie, Mindful Skeptics, Boyce with us in the house.
New background.
Yeah, new background. Galaxy, I like it. I like it. Makes it all futuristic.
That's right. Well, I can't, like, I've been using the Trickle Ups background, and I'm like, I gotta switch that shit out when it's just me. I'm not representing the Trickle Up. I'm representing my own podcast, whatever.
Right.
Yeah, you gotta switch it
up. Gotcha.
I really like the hat, boys.
What's that?
I really like the hat.
This is the new Trickle Up hat. Oh,
yeah.
Clean as shit, man. It's a Delta. It's a sweet hat. $25. I just put that. I put it on the website. Crystal Fleischman, what up?
Hey, what's going on, Crystal? How you
doing? These hats are actually come in white with black lettering or embroidery, and then black with silver embroidery. In case you don't like the white, because the white gets dirty.
Right.
Kind of like the Raiders colors.
But here's the thing, though. This bitch is a Delta fit. This is the highest quality hat they make, man. This mug is comfortable.
Meesh.
Hey,
friend. Oh, you got a surprise next to your name tag. I hope you like it and don't mess it up either. Don't you mess it up, Mish. But I know you're good for it. I know you're good for it.
No, absolutely.
I know you're good for it. But anyways, yes, welcome you guys. It is us, Millionaire Council. We're missing one. He's coming in a little bit later. Like I said, we got the homie Boyce in here, Mindful Skeptics. He's going to be talking with us. And so tonight's topic has been one of those topics that's been put in the fire. And now it's all nice and roasty, and we will pull this iron out. Yep. And we'll have a talk about it. We're going to talk about it. And it's basically different perspectives on raising Black children. And the reason why is because, Boyce, you want to kind of dig us in and tell us why we were going to have this conversation?
Yeah, I've been married and divorced twice. I had a couple of girls in my first marriage, and I got 2 boys in my second marriage, and the oldest boy is biracial. And I've had to navigate that role, and draw off other people's experiences, firsthand point of view, to teach him what I can to be safe. When it just comes down to safety first and foremost as a parent, is like, how do you keep these kids safe and answer those tough questions? Like, why don't you look like your mom? Are you adopted? All these kind of weird unknowns that you didn't know it was coming. Then it just comes at you, and you gotta think on the fly, man, and really be there and try and make it as less traumatic as possible. Is being asked these kind of odd questions that no one else gets asked. I've never been asked that. Are you adopted? I was like, I've never been asked that,
No, I mean, like, my siblings would joke around and say that I was adopted, but I knew that they were joking.
You're undeniable. Well, it's actually funny because I think me and my brother and sister look nothing like either parent. So I did the DNA test and said my brother and sister, I said, hey, you guys might want to do it. I don't know if you give a shit or care, but I'm curious. Maybe somebody's dipping. You never know. The thing I like about you guys is you guys always have different names, and it's always related to the show's topic. Ron of Many Than L's got L knows nothing about birthing no babies. I love it. And the thing is, I'm always curious about what Toby's is going to be, because he always has some great ones.
Yeah.
Great names.
He does.
I'm trying to think of, I don't know, man. I'm just going to be curious what he puts down for his names. He's always pretty creative. But that's what really got this whole thing going. Is I asked you guys months ago about talking about this and talking about raising children. Black children specifically in America, with all this Black Lives Matter stuff was going down, man. I met a couple people at a police forum in Benton Harbor, St. Joe area, that a young white father had adopted some babies, and he adopted a young Black baby, like he knew the mother and she wasn't, ready for that. And so she just took them. Thinking of, yeah, there it is. He's playing Scrabble with some name ideas, and throwing against the wall, you know. Oh, you're muted, Ron.
Oh, right. You're not muted, but I don't know. We can't hear you.
How about now?
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, I got to do a mute button.
Yep.
I keep forgetting that. Hey, what's up, kid? Hey.
The kid. Oh, there it is. I can see him now.
Yeah.
Dude, your guys' Twitch is killing it.
Man, yes. And a lot of them, they've been pretty much here since, I know me, he's been here for the longest time. And I know I am 3J.
Mm-hmm.
I know he's been here for quite some time. There's a bunch of other people that shows up that pops in and out every now and then. And so,
well, I know every time I come on your channel, Mish is here every single time I watch your guys' stuff. So I know her. She, I'm not sure.
Oh,
of course.
Yes, y'all gonna see me doing this. It is hot. Where I'm at, it is hot. Like this. Man, no. Superman, no. We are not cooking today. I'm already cooking. Sheesh. Yeah. I am already cooking. If you can't tell by now, brother, yes, you came from the Discord, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I said, a lot of these guys, they've been with us for some time now. I appreciate them. I do.
Yeah,
I do. I appreciate them. I appreciate the stew out of them.
Yeah.
So yeah.
To everybody every Tuesday too.
Yes. Tuesdays are like pretty much like, I tell people Tuesdays are like my most busiest days. Why? Because not only do I have this, but I got other stuff that comes before this. They got to get done and make sure that's all squared away. So it's like my Tuesdays are super busy, and then kind of in the middle of the week is like, it kind of tapers off.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, no, let's get into it. Let's get into it. Like, again, you guys in the chat, you guys know, feel free. I haven't had to put nobody in timeout in a long time, and that's good. I haven't had to ban nobody in a long time. That's even better.
Yeah.
So we're gonna keep this thing going and everything else. But still, no, like perspectives on raising Black kids and Black children. And I know it varies from household to household to household. Hey, Seal. Hey, Seal.
Steel Bears, another one of them that's always here.
Yeah.
And on my channel too, man, always there supporting.
Yeah. And again, we're just going to have this conversation because, like I said, it's been in the talks for months, and now we're going to have this conversation. Let's get this thing going. And so, the one thing a lot of people tend to talk about, and especially when it comes to Black kids in particular, is the grooming of the hair, and how many people take care of it. I know that when I was living out in Colorado Springs, a lot of the white parents there, they adopted Black parents, like black kids, and they were always kind of like wondering, like, how do we take care of this person's hair because we don't know.
Yeah,
their hair texture is a lot different from ours. Have you had any instances of that going on?
Yeah, well, fortunately, I had a little bit of more exposure with specifically the hair talk with my buddy from high school, because when I was in high school, we had a guy from Dowagiac. His parents were killed, and he wound up living with us for his senior year, because if not, he's going to be like living on his own, risking homelessness, because both parents died, man, in a car accident. So his name was Calvin Lee. So Calvin moved in with us in the little old shitty trailer in Hartford, and we made it, and but that's back when House Party was out, so like we watched that a lot, and we did the dance.
There you go.
You can't not do it, but yeah. So I learned a lot about just the difference in hair care, because I never seen nobody put no damn shower cap on their head. I was like, Calvin, aren't you gonna get your hair wet? And he's like, no. I'm like, why? Like, what? Isn't that the point of a shower head, to get your head in the shower? He explained to me about dryness, being brittle, break off, and stuff like that, and and gotta have oils in the hair. And he had the Bobby Brown too back then, so every single morning he'd pick his hair out and he'd get the clippers and be like, and just nip the little hairs that were wild. Every single day before school, that motherfucker was notorious. I'd be like, come on, Calvin, shit, it's leaning enough. Let's go. But that, like, so I had a little bit of experience with that, luckily, coming up. And then when my oldest kid, Caleb, he's biracial, so it's not the same. It's his isn't as coarse or brittle at all. The longer my hair gets, the less often I wash it. Yeah. And I have not a worry in the world. Hair is overrated, but I love Elle's her locks. First of all,
thank you.
I love the locks. I know that's a lot of work because speaking of hair, my oldest son Caleb, his was naturally like the spiral curls, just curls, boom, and his hair. Well, then he got like a fro hawk, stuff like that, and then so I had to learn because at first his mom always wanted kept it short, is simple, didn't need a lot of product or nothing like that. But once his hair started growing out, then we had to start asking questions. Because she's white as a motherfucker, man, for real. And so we took him to the barber shop in town, Shaw's in Benton Harbor. I said, hey man, he wants to get a fro hawk, but I don't want to just cut it and let it be. And he's like, what you mean? Product? I'm like, yeah. What's the proper product for a fro hawk? And he's like, well, it's just product. It don't matter what the style is. I'm like, well, he goes, trust me, it'll stay in place. I'm like, oh yeah, I didn't think about that. Like white boy mohawks are different. You got to put some shit in it. If not, you're just going to lay down. It's like a front mullet, but yeah, so like he gave us a quick little intros, like, oh, you want to use the pink, what do you call it? The pink stuff or something like that. The
pink lotion,
the pink stuff, man. He said, you want the pink stuff like this? And he runs it through his hair, and he goes, when he gets out the shower, when he washes, he puts this in here every day, and he'll give his whole routine. And then we had to teach him. What the hell do I know? I've been shaving my head since he was born. Before he was born, I've been shaving my head for a minute. But here I am, like, all right. So it says, Shaw said you gotta use the pink stuff, and then he got one of those tornado sponges.
Yeah.
Then he started growing a high top fade, like Kid and Play. That's why I wanted to bring that up. It got tall. Then he started picking his hair out. Had to use different product for that, because it had a little more. He needed some more. I don't know what you call it, moisture.
Moisturizer.
Yes, he'd pick his hair out and spraying something. I can't remember what that was called, honestly. What's up?
No, you're good. You're good. Keep going. Okay. Keep going. It's on me.
But yeah, so we had to just learn about that kind of stuff and buy him the right product. And I couldn't teach him. We took him to the barber shop and let Shaw teach him, and just kind of keep my ears open and learn. And then go to the beauty store and get the product and talk to the ladies there. Because something like, well, you see his hair? Shaw said this, and this. And she's like, all right, but she's like, can I touch your hair? And he's like, yes. And then she touched his hair and she's like, ooh, okay. And she gave him a different one. She's like, try this instead of that.
Right.
And then we had the trifecta. These 3 product is good to go. Then he grew his hair out long. Then he started twisting it and it naturally started to lock up.
Okay.
Then he started locking his hair and he bought little weight thingies, these little clamps that he had a couple that were kind of like pew pew.
Okay. Yeah.
He bought these little, like, I call them like sinkers, like for a sinker line, for like fishing line, like a sinker. It's a weighted sinker. He just put these little gold little clamp thingies and would get those hairs to lay down the way he wanted them.
Right.
And it's like a gold little decorative looking thing. It had some weight to it and it just hung it down. He wore it for like maybe a month or 2. And the next time he twisted it, then it started growing in that direction. It was good to go. So like I've learned a lot about hair, man. And I understand the commitment to grow locks. Because that is a commitment. I've seen how long your hair was, like, holy shit, that's like 10 years.
Yeah, it'll be 10 years next year in 2022, yeah.
Man. I know it's a lot of work. And I just shave my shit super simple,
One of the things I like about having locks, though, is like even when I know it's a mess, a lot of people don't know it's a mess, so I still get compliments on it.
I know it's just a lot of work, man. Get it retwist, get it tightened up at the base, and grows out. And I'm like, holy cow! I didn't realize just how much work that was, man. Until you go through it, yeah. So like, I asked my girlfriend. She's from her family's from Uganda. I asked her if she'd teach me how to do her hair for her, help her out, because it's a whole thing, man. She does her own hair. She's got her hair is natural. Like she doesn't. What do you call it?
Permanent.
Get a permanent, and it doesn't get a relaxer, doesn't do that stuff anymore, just letting it be. And she braids it at night, twists it at night, and so to get some curl to it, and she does her thing. So every night she sits there and she's like, and she has like a whole 20-minute routine with her hair every night, and then she puts her, her scarf on, and I bought her some nice silk scarves that were nice.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
I know. I know. Silk scarf, man. But yeah, like I've had to learn a lot, and then I'm gonna try and learn some more, man. I think the idea of doing someone's hair is an intimate thing.
Oh yeah.
I agree.
I was like, you know what? I'll be that white guy that knows how to do other people's hair, that doesn't have hair. I mean,
there you go.
Like, doesn't have hair, a bald-headed dude that wants to do something, But yeah, man, the hair thing is very interesting to learn, on the fly and pick up as you go. And I would not have known any of these things without the experience,
I like the plug. Superman, I like the plug. I like the plug.
Is that hair product or something?
No, it's a black-owned hair store.
Oh, okay.
And basically, yeah. So she's up and coming. She had the stuff and everything else. Now that you did that, now I'm gonna have to put her website on the YouTube page so people can get it. So just in case if they didn't catch this live stream, we'll put it up. Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. Oh, I got a do-rag from her. It's 100% silk. It's nice.
Okay.
It's nice.
I bought a really nice. I really bought a really nice 4-pack of silk scarves, and for my girlfriend, I just saw like, you know what? Those feel nice. I imagine they feel nice on your head, because she had the reason I did it is because she had a silk scarf. Her favorite one is the nicest one. She put it in a dryer and eventually got caught up by that damn little arm in the middle, and they got twisted and made it, and it started tearing and fraying. And she's like, "Dang it!" And so I was like, "You know what? Fuck it. Amazon, you're gonna come in handy today."
There you go.
So I went on Amazon. I looked at the tag on her silk scarf, and I was like, "All right, let me find the same material." And it's like 100% silk. I was like, "Ooh, not cheap either. Not cheap."
Oh, dude.
I got a 4-pack for like $50-something, which is pretty good price. But they're big too. They're like, I don't know, man. It's not some regular old do-rag size. It's not some handkerchief. It's a silk scarf. It's like 3 foot by 3 foot. It's a big one.
Oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about because with between the missus and my daughter, they have 2 to 3 apiece. 2 to 3 apiece, and it's like, it gets like that. And even then, I'm finding myself going to the store and buying Durex because now my son, he's just got his hair twisted up. So he wants to go and get the process of, he wants to start getting dreads. Sooner or later, he wants to start doing that. And so he's just pretty much getting his hair twisted up. It looks really nice with it. All they have to do on my end is cut the sides and the back low enough to the point where it evens out and it looks really nicer and whatnot. And so I'll probably end up doing it tomorrow. Since I'm not super busy on that day. So probably end up doing it tomorrow. But yeah.
So he's been using the tornado sponge to get it going and then start twisting it, or how's he do it?
Basically what we did was, or what I did was I left his hair up top a little bit longer than the hair on the sides because he said that he's like, Dad, that's what I want to do. I'm like, okay, I got you. And so he would pick his hair out, kind of have like a little, like a fro hawk, if you would. Pick it out. And then I did buy a little foam brush to kind of like brush it in so it kind of stay in place and whatnot. Did that. One of the dogs got to it, tore it up. I'm like, you know what? Whatever. But the picket comes in handy because it's like it helped out a lot. And so it still helped them retain the shape. It still helped them to kind of pretty much get everything going. And so when it came time, it's like, he said, "Dad, you think my hair is long enough to get twisted?" I'm like, I don't know how to do it. I know our neighbor across the street, she knows how to do it. Ask your mom. She may be able to do it. I mean, she does your sister hair. It's like, it's probably no different. You might have to get some more stuff added to your hair because with your hair, it's like it's coarse. Naturally, it's coarse. And so even if you did get it twisted up and locked, you need something to kind of hold it, because if not, it's pretty much going to come out, And the same thing with my daughter's hair. My daughter's hair is pretty much like my hair, whereas like even a little bit of moisture, it poofs up, and it's fine. It's so fine. Just a little bit of water, and it just poofs up. I mean, there's been times where I had braids hair. It will look nice the first 2 days. After the third day, it's coming out. Coming out.
Yeah.
And so that's why I cut low. So
you're struggling, brother.
Huh?
You're struggling, man.
Yeah. Your internet was kind of cutting out.
You're pixelating.
I like that.
There you go. How's it now? How am I looking now?
You look
better.
Good.
All right. Roll. Let me turn that one off. Okay. And so with my son, he got his hair long enough to the point where he was able to get twisted. He got it in. He's wearing a do-rag now to kind of keep everything down. And even then, he wears a shower cap. Whenever he takes a shower, he puts a shower cap on so his twist doesn't come undone. And I know the missus said that every once in a while she'll end up kind of retightening it, so that way it stays in place. And he was like, cool. He said, because the next thing he wants to do is he wants to dye the ends a certain color and then just leave it like that. I'm like, okay, cool. We'll see.
My girlfriend here, let me pull this up. Yeah. So this is my girlfriend's hair right now.
Okay.
She actually started, like, she dyed like it on top, whatever. But yeah, so she's growing it back out naturally there. I like her. She does it like that. But before she always had twists, or she'd do like, I'm learning a lot of terms now. Bantu or boom.
Bantu knots.
Yeah, Bantu knots. Yeah.
Okay.
And then she had butterfly Bantu hair, which is like they do the Bantu. It does like a little. The knot actually has a little thing that comes out.
Oh, really?
It looks like almost like one of those you tie a knot in a rope for your feet for a rope ladder.
Yeah.
I think like it has a little thicker knot right there, and it kind of gets thicker at the sections. Like,
okay.
That for a minute, but she said it was too heavy, so she didn't want that no more. But
Okay.
I'm learning a lot more terms when it comes to hair and shit. And that's expensive, man. That's an investment.
Yes, it is.
That's a privilege I have. I shave my head. I don't have to think about nothing.
Nope. Gone.
Yeah.
Probably shouldn't have to think about. It can be really annoying, especially when like you're running late. It's like, oh my goodness, my hair is looking all frizzy. It's like freaking like roll all this shit.
Well, I imagine the weight of your locks has got to be substantial by now. That type of length. You probably don't even notice it, but
it kind of grew on me.
Oh, they kind of had to for a decade. Oh, there it is. I'll be here all day, folks.
I guess so. I guess like if I were to cut it all off, I'd probably like feel like my head is just flying in the wind. Like,
There you go.
I feel so light. I just like wake up and just constantly just be hitting my head against things because it's just so light.
Or going, whoops, nothing there, you know, like,
like turn my head on like I turned it too far or something.
Oh man. Or be like my man Rock, the weight off, and he's faster than what he used to be. Like he was already fast, now he's faster.
Right. Like,
Yeah.
if I nod, it'll just be like
Dragon
they're
Ball Z.
weighing you down. You're faster than you think. Oh, you just don't know it. You take off the weight of the hair, you're gonna take 10 seconds off your mile time.
There you go.
Probably, yeah, probably.
That's what's up.
You know, give Allison Felix a run for her money.
Whew.
Never.
You better have a mountain bike on you or something, because that
Right, yeah.
even that wouldn't help you. Like, think about it, man. They're out the blocks. They're gone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
I kind of have been boycotting the Olympics this time because I'm like, you know what? Fuck the Olympics. All they're doing is exploiting people and making money off of them while they're training 4 years of their life and getting nothing in return when it comes right down to it. I looked it up. It's $37,500 if you win the gold medal.
Yeah, I saw that. In other countries, it's a whole lot more.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
We give $37,000. So Little Miss Biles dedicates her life to a sport that turns their back and shits on her as soon as she's like, you know what? I don't think I love this anymore. And I got to do what's right for my mental health. Think about it. Since she's 4 years old, she's done nothing but please everyone else.
Really? She's been doing gymnastics since she was 4. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
They tend to start super young.
Yeah, you have to be that freak level of athlete, man. She is. You think about what that type of body stress does to young women. It delays puberty. It stunts their growth. When you delay puberty, what's that do? Delays breast growth and stuff like that. And so most of these girls are just like pure muscle, no fat on their bodies, and 4'4", like just tiny little ladies. And she is like 4'9", 4'10".
Really?
Like she's short. She's under 5 foot. She's tiny.
Oh,
But
wow.
boy, she got some muscles. My goodness. Whew. But the thing is, she's one of the greatest of all time. Wins a gold medal and gets $37,500.
I guess that's why she has to win several just to get a decent year's salary.
Well, and she's the one that actually can get sponsors and commercials. The rest of them don't.
Exactly.
But she's the one. The rest of them don't. So it's exploiting, child labor, if you think about it, when they're young. For what? Nationalism? I'm like, fuck that. I'm out. It just promotes nationalism and white exceptionalism or American exceptionalism. Exceptionalism. There it is. That's a hard word. But it's like I just kind of tuned out, especially they shit on their athlete. That one young lady popped positive for marijuana. Is like, you're out. But Michael Phelps pops positive. They're like, hey. I'm like, really? Michael Phelps. And the girl that got kicked out for running.
Sha'Carri Richardson.
There you go, Richardson. So she gets caught and is out. Michael Phelps gets caught and is like, hey, watch it.
Yeah. I guess it was like during the time, like
hers was during qualifications.
Right, yeah, but it's like I can't believe marijuana was a disqualification. Like there were jokes and memes about like, and it's true that like if you can smoke weed and still run like fast, like the fastest, then you deserve 2 gold medals. And
you deserve an extra award and a sponsorship by Doritos, and like gummy bears. But Mish says the most dangerous thing about marijuana is getting caught with it. That's really
that is so true.
Yeah, and then Crystal, she was saying that Simone, she started late. She was 6 or 7 when she actually started. In the chorus, she was adopted by her grandparents. So you know, there adds a different dynamics to that as well. Mm-hmm. So there's
18 years of her life. She's only 24. And then they're gonna boo her? Man, kiss my ass. Ridiculous. This is ridiculous.
Yeah. Like one of my friends, like he works with a lot of like more so right-wing people. And like one of the people at his job was saying like, oh, Simone Biles is like a traitor to our country. I was like, a traitor?
But the people that stormed the Capitol were patriots, man. Piss off.
I was like, that's a little
extreme. A lot, yeah.
That's a lot.
See, I was thinking about coming up with I was gonna actually, like, when COVID happened, before COVID happened, I was gonna actually make some mock gold medals for mental gymnastics to hand out to people that kind of do shit like that. I was like, what's your reasoning? Oh, well, but what about this? And they're like, I was like, here's your gold medal. You got the gold medal in mental gymnastics. Congratulations.
That's great. That
gold
is
medalist
great.
Mental gymnastics. So I'm thinking about making like a graphic, like a you know how they got those gangster ass memes that comes across with sunglasses and a fucking blunt? I'd be like gangster one, be like gold medal. Like it looks like the gangster hat and the sunglasses, you know.
The thug life.
Yeah, thug life. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I want to make one of those little graphics I can slide over a picture of some fucking idiot I'm talking to, you know, and make a video with them and be like,
you can just like slide over like a medal and have it just there's like mental gymnastics.
It's like putting a GIF on top of their photo or out the video as well.
Right. Yeah.
Like I literally had someone this week at my local Harding's, just a little bitty store. I'm in there. I'm one of 5 people in the whole store with a goddamn mask on, right? So I'm just trying to get some turkey and cheese, man. I'm just trying to get some food. And this lady's looking at me and she's like,
oh, God.
I'm looking at her, I'm like, are you good, ma'am? She's like, can I ask you a question? I was like, you clearly have something to say. Let's hear it. She's like, why do you have a mask on? I was like, can I ask you a question? She goes, yeah. I was like, why don't you? And she's like, don't tell me you believe in this hoax. I was like, I don't believe in anything. And she's like, what do you mean you don't believe in nothing? I was like, belief is, for me, I identify belief as accepting something to be true without evidence. So I don't believe in anything. I was like, so I accept the facts that scientific communities come to, that this is a global pandemic and it's killing people. Yes. 600,000 Americans. Yes. I believe in that. Yeah, I do. And she's like, you even know what this is? I'm like, I'm a healthcare worker, so I kind of know, I kind of know. I was like, I watched someone take their last breath on the 4th floor at Lakeland. Okay, I've watched it happen. I was like, what do you do? By the way, she's like, I own a flower shop. I was like, I'll ask you about flowers later. Don't ask me about fucking healthcare, you know? I'll default to your authority on flowers. Don't tell me about medicine. But then she's like, it's no different than the flu. And then she like tried to keep talking as I was walking away, and I turned around, I was like, we can keep the conversation going if you want to, but I mean, I'm just telling you. I'm glad you asked me and not somebody else that might have been like intimidated by this questioning. I was like, but yeah, it's real. And I was like, and she's like, that mask don't protect you. I was like, no, it don't. She's like, then why wear it? I was like, I'm trying to protect you. I said, I care about you. And she's like, you don't care about nobody. I was like, but yet I wear the mask. And she's like, it's just a hoax. It's just the flu. I was like, I've had the flu before. Everybody's had the flu. But yet, the whole world, like, it's a hoax that everyone's in on.
I know. That's what gets me too. It's like, this shit's going on around the planet. It's like, it's not just in America. This is what we believe in, or but only in America it could be a controversy. Was this recent? Was this a recent?
This week.
She still thinks it's a hoax?
This week. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God! I thought this was for like last year. Which was the fact that she used the word hoax.
No, what's today? Tuesday. This was Sunday. 2 days ago.
Holy shit!
Then on my way home from that store, I couldn't help but notice there's a Trump 2024 flag an American flag that doesn't have all the stripes is a different one that had like 7 or something. Is a weird American flag. And then there's the Trump 2024 flag, then another flag that says join or die with a snake cut into 13 pieces representing the 13 colonies. Mm-hmm. And I had to look it up. It's a Benjamin Franklin from 1754. It's about the Revolutionary War, where England was saying, come over here or we're going to chop you up and kill you. Join us or die. We're going to start that. In other words, is invoking Revolutionary War. And so I made a video. I got on, I parked my car. I said, son of a bitch. I parked my car at the police station right across the street, walked into this person's yard, turned around and said, so this is my neighborhood. This is the fucking idiots I got to deal with. Join or die. I was like, good God almighty. And then people were loving that shit. They're like, oh man, what is this? And I said, you know what? I think I'm going to go back there and knock on their door and ask them, what should I join? And why should I die if I don't? I'm going to do that. That's happening this weekend.
Oh my goodness.
I'm doing that shit on Saturday.
What should I join?
It's like 2 miles from my house. So I'm going to go down there. And every time I go by, I'm going to look for someone in the driveway or something. When they are, I'm going to pull in. And be like, say, I got a question. You know? Well, here we go. Here's a good question, though.
What is the appropriate age to talk to a child of color about racism? And what would you say so they understand? I know that's difficult. And I'm going to say something that's going to sound kind of dark. Like, children of color experience racism or some sort of racial bias mad early. And it's like, I guess the only way to talk about it is to talk about the situation that's going to, like, unfortunately, inevitably happen, and then to try to explain it to them. But to actually, I don't know, just like talk, like to explain it. I don't know. Like,
Caleb was 6 years old.
Like 6 months?
I had to talk to Caleb at 6 years old in his first full day at school because the teacher tried to pet his head while he's trying to get a drink. He's in the line for the drinking fountain, you know? And she's like, oh, look at your hair. It's so nice. He's like, slaps her hand. Don't touch me, hair. Mm-hmm. Then we get a phone call. Boyce, you got to come up here. He hit the teacher. I'm like, come on, man. What? I was like, all right, man. So I come up there and they're like, the teacher's like standing. She's like, And I come in and Caleb's just like, he got a growl on his face. I was like, you good? He's like, she tried to pet me like I'm a dog. I'm like, really? I was like, so I walked into the office. I was like, ding, ding, ding. I come in. I was like, so who's the offender? And she goes, what? I was like, who's the offender? And they're like, I don't know. I was like, who's the teacher that put their hands on that boy's head? You know what I'm saying? And I had to explain this shit to her. It's like, you don't touch people's heads. You don't touch kids, period. You know, but I had explained to her, that's not okay. That's demeaning and belittling. And it's kind of effed up, you know. Then I had to go home and talk to him. I was like, man, I was like, so she probably came up in a community with no exposure to black people at all. And she's probably always wanted to touch their hair. Isn't it cool? Let's touch it. You know, I was like, and you were the first person to probably had an opportunity, or the first person to push back a kid, you know? So he was 6 and he had to heard from me. Like, I wasn't there before he was 5. So I'm sure other things happen, you know, the preschool and stores, little shithead kids or whatever, you know, things. Yeah. That's my own personal experience with Caleb personally. 6 years old, man. That's early.
Yeah. I think
or late, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah. I want to say my daughter here in the old Three Rivers, you know, and I think she was either in the 2nd or the 3rd grade. She was playing with her, supposedly her classmates. And they were all playing. So they ran off and, you know, were giggling and whatnot. So she chased after them. And she's like, you know, hey, can I play with you guys? They told her no because of the fact that you don't look like us. Mind you, they're white kids. And so that broke her heart. She's like, what? She's like, what do you mean? She's like, you know, You don't look like us. You're not light skinned. You're not white. She took off and bawling. And she cried. She cried. She cried. I was at work at the time. My wife went down there and was down there. She told me what happened. And I came home and she was still kind of like tearing up. And when I just held her and then just hold her. And I had her and our two other boys, my oldest and my youngest. And you know, we sat down, we talked to them like, you know, this is the time that you're living in. Like, you know, it's sad that your sister had to experience this, but it happens all the time. It happens all the time. They're like, you know, what do you mean? Like, this is her first instance of her experiencing racism, you know, and what just happened was very racist. Very racist. It's like you can't tell somebody you don't want to be around them because they don't look like you. That's wrong in itself. That's downright wrong. And then at the same time, you guys are still in the same classroom together. That's what makes it work. And even in the whole school, there's only a handful of black kids there, especially in her. There's only a handful. It's not like you can, you know, leave them and have a group of yourselves with all the black kids, whatnot. It's not going to happen. It's like, but at the same time, understanding that this is the environment that you guys are growing up in. It's like, it sucks, you know, that you have to live through this. It sucks to think that experiencing racism here, you know, you wouldn't have to. But again, this would just happen to your sister, you know, and if it happened to her, more than likely, it could happen to you. It could happen to you. It could very well happen. It's like
can and will.
I wish I can say it won't happen. Like, but I would just be lying to you and just setting you up for failure. And you know, my oldest, he kind of like, wow, really? I'm like, dude, yeah. And he just held her. And he was like, you know, wow. He was like, that just happened to my sister. I'm like, yeah, it did. And it sucks, you know. It sucks. And so to answer your question, Crystal, the younger the better, because it's going to happen. It's going to happen, like Boyce says, it's going to happen and it will happen. And as long as they at least know now, as soon as they can, at least they'll have some kind of defense mechanism put in place when it does happen. You know?
Yeah, coping mechanism.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But the sad thing is sometimes the best answer is it just happens. That's fucked up. And that sucks.
Yeah,
it happens. You're like, what? That's a horrible society, as far as I'm concerned. 8 years old.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Even then, you know, that talk with all three of them, that was something else too as well. That was something else. And I had to tell him, like, my oldest as of right now, he's 14. He's taller than me. I'll put it like that. He's taller than me. You know, and he gets along with just about everybody. But I have to tell him, like, you know, you're getting older now. You're going to high school. Like, you know, dude, you have to kind of be careful due to the fact that you're in high school. It's bad enough, like 2-3 years ago, the school was placed on lockdown back to back because somebody threatened to shoot the school up, you know, or, you know, when you were still in elementary school, they had to shut down the middle school because somebody threatened to shoot the school up, or they did a bomb threat. You know, like going to high school, you want to be careful because it's going to happen. It's like, you know, the last thing I need to hear is you messed around, you know, you get into a fight with somebody. I know you're going to win. I know you're going to hold your own. That much I do know. But what I don't want to happen is some weirdo gets mad and pissed off because he lost a fight, and rather than just go home and suck it up, he comes and blasts your brains out. Now I got to take him out and possibly his father out and everybody else out because of the fact of what just happened. He's like, for real, like, dude, like this is the city, like the city that we live in. There's not a whole lot of black people that live here. Like out the whole county, the city has the largest amount of black folks. The largest amount. Majority of them I know. Mm-hmm. The majority of them I know. And so it's like they know me, they know y'all, and they know that I'm cool peace. But at the same time, if things have to pop off, I have no problems. None. Yeah. I will go to jail. He was like, okay. He was like, I'll say. He's like, okay. I'm like, I don't got time. I don't. It's like, if you guys were growing up in the era where me and your mom and your uncle and your auntie kind of grew up in, it was cool. It was calm. It was kosher. Like, you know, you get into a fist fight, you live to see another day. You know, nowadays you get into a fist fight, the same day you're gone. You know,
yeah,
it's just crazy. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, or they like blow up a building or some shit, like some truly over the top reaction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's weird, man. You know, it's difficult raising kids. Like, just to put everybody in context, just so you guys know, my kids are 20, 19, 18, and 17. So they're young adults. And the oldest boy, Caleb's in college on a track and academic scholarship. Like,
nice.
He's a young man. And that's one of the coolest things, is to see your kids become their own person, separate from you. Like, not anything you... Like, he's becoming something I had no influence in him becoming.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's an oil painter now. He paints oil paintings, like legit ones.
Yeah, that's
like, the kinds that cost like $1,000, you know, like a legit oil painting. Like, shit. This one day he starts oil painting. I'm like, you want what? He's like, I need some blank canvases. I'm like, okay, I can buy you some blank canvases. What you gonna do? And he's like, I'm gonna try doing some painting. I'm like, oh, okay. This will last a couple weeks and it'll be over with, you know. But that was 3 years ago, man. And now he's been self-taught at college, and man, so like, it's one of those weird things. But you know, when they get older, it's a different set of problems, man. Bump them kids. I knew it. I love it. I've been waiting on your name all day, Toby. I was trying
to get I had to keep it clean for the kids.
There you go.
While simultaneously disrespecting them.
Hey, bump. Yes, sir.
Of the half an hour, he is here. He is ready to mingle.
Man of half
an hour. Ready to mingle? I guess we're mingling. That's correct terminology. Yeah.
Coming at you from Massachusetts.
Right.
I think it's Mass. Am I wrong? I think it's Mass.
I'm in Mass.
Okay, yeah.
He's
he's a masshole.
Continue. Don't let me interrupt the conversation.
You're good. You are good. You're good. Because Crystal, she had mentioned the question, what would be excuse me. Let me bring it back up so you kind of see what we're talking about.
The context.
Bam. She asked that, and we're just pretty much just going around explaining, you know, at what age. And we all came to pretty much a general consensus, the earlier the better, just due to the fact that a lot of kids are experiencing racism at an earlier age than at a very later age. And so now, especially with the current environment of the country and kind of how tensions are somewhat high for the most part, you know, it's being able to have that conversation and just letting our kids, like, you know, hey, this is what's going on, what you're going to be being faced with now. This is what you got to do to protect yourself, you know, and do what you got to, at the end of the day, do what you got to do. Do what you got to do.
Well, that's the thing. the thing with the whole Black Lives Matter thing happening the last couple of years. Well, let me rephrase that. Getting national attention in the last couple of years since Rodney King. That like that's one of the toughest decisions for me as a white parent with a black son is when he got his driver's license. That's like the scariest goddamn thing ever, man. It's like he can get killed by a cop. You know what I mean? Like I had to come to terms. I'm like, wait a minute. They could find a reason to kill him, to shoot him, straight up. Young black man with locks. Hell no, you're a danger to society. I had to have that talk. Like, okay, so if you get pulled over, it's called open palms, 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock, turn on a dome light, and announce your every movement. And he's like, why? I was like, because they see you as a threat to their life as soon as they see you. They assume ill intent and they don't give you any grace. It's just the worst. They'll tap your tail light as you walk by for good luck and then put their hand on the butt of their gun. That's how it works. They tap your tail light and they put their hand on the butt of the gun as they approach you. And the smart ones get skinny. They turn sideways and they lean in. The dumb ones get all wide open, so they get shot dead middle of the chest, I guess. But like I had to talk to them. It was like when they're coming up to their car, they're assessing danger. I was like, and I was like, I hate to put it this way, but we're gonna put it in realistic terms. It's unfortunately on you, which is crazy to say, to make that officer feel as safe as possible, even though he has a fucking gun. Like, that's why your palms are open. You turn on the dome light so it's well lit. They can see you're not touching nothing. Your hand's on the wheel, and you don't reach for nothing like your license, registration, or get your cell phone. Keep your hands right here at 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock. And he's like, huh. I was like, so you can make a motion. They could say that you're reaching for a gun or a weapon or whatever. And then they'll make up a story. They'll say, oh, yeah, I heard about a car just got robbed and it was an armed robbery and da-da-da. You know, like, they'll make up anything they want, man. And they do. And they have. You know what I mean? Like, clearly. And so, like, I had to have that talk with him, and it's just like, there's an empty feeling afterwards. I'm like, I didn't want to ever have that conversation.
No, I hear you.
But I knew it was coming.
I hear you.
I had to rehearse that in my own head, kind of really flush out what I want to say, like without scaring the living shit out of them, which is really what I was trying to do. To say, listen, these motherfuckers don't care. Like, you're just another black kid. They'll shoot your ass and they'll make up a story. And it's just the way it is. Like you said, it's the worst excuse in the world. But these are the facts on the ground, you know. And I had to have that conversation when he's 15 years old, you know. And then the first time he drove away in a car, I mean, was I still married? Yeah, I think I was still married. So, like, here's me and his mom in a driveway. He drove away. And we're like, man, just like shit. Now he's at the world's mercy. You know, you can't protect him no more, man. That's a scary feeling.
Yeah, I hear you.
And I've only got one black son. The other ones, I had to have a talk with them. Literally, think about that. 3 other kids, I haven't had a talk with them. Got your license? Have fun, be safe.
Wow.
That's fucked up. The more I think about this, the more fucked up I think about it. Never had that talk with Cameron. Never had that talk with the other 2 girls. That's it. Just be safe. You know, and I have one son. He's biracial.
Right.
Don't be dark complected. Your ass is grass. You're real dangerous now. You know, like, what the fuck? But it's what it is. You know, it's my girlfriend's son. They're from Uganda, so he's very dark complected and he's tall. That's scary stuff, you know. and so, you know, same thing. He's going to college in Chicago next month, or wait, in 3 weeks he's leaving for Chicago, man. Going to college on his own in a big city.
Yeah.
And so that's scary too.
Yeah. I mean, ooh. Let's see. There we go, Crystal.
Damn, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sad. An 8-year-old's asking this question too. Let's be cognizant of this. An 8-year-old asking if the cops are going to kill her if she's dark enough to get killed.
Ooh, it's funny. It's funny you brought that up too, because I remember this is 2021, so about 3 years ago, we just got in from Colorado. We were making our drive up to we made a trip up to Grand Rapids, to kind of see my in-laws. We haven't seen them in like forever. So we come back, and of course we get pulled over. I still had Colorado plates, but my plates were still good. They didn't expire until my birthday. So I'm like, I ain't got nothing to worry about. The one thing my daughter asked at the time, she must have been 6 or 7 at the time. She asked me, she's like, Dad, are you going to get shot? Like, what do you mean? She's like, the police are behind us. They pulled you over. Are you going to get shot? Are you going to die? My daughter now. My other two, the oldest one and the youngest one, they were kind of asleep, but they kind of woke up, and it just kind of looked like what's going on. I was like, oh, snap, it's the cops. And my youngest, I think he almost started to cry. And I was like, hey, just calm down. Everything's going to be all right. He's like, no, Dad's not going to die. He was like, and in the back of my mind, I'm like, dang, like, that's tough because I'm literally like right around the corner from my mom's house. Like, that's how we're going. And like you were saying, like, how the guy, has his hand on the butt.
Tap your bumper.
Tap the bumper, had his
hand on the butt.
Hand on the butt, gun. And I just kind of looked at him. I'm just looking at him like, okay. And so it's like, hey, good evening. I'm like, hello. Same time, his buddy pulled up right behind him. Just because I'm like, okay, what's up? So he's like, so you got a Colorado place? Like, yep, I just moved from Colorado to Michigan not too long ago, just got into town. I was like, so where you going? It's like, we just came from my in-laws. Like, we're all on my way to mom's, and she's literally right around the corner. If you want to follow us, you can. I got you. Do you want me to grab my license and insurance and registration and all the good stuff? He was like, you have it? Like, yeah, it's right here in the glove compartment. And my wallet I'm sitting on my wallet. He was like, okay. And so his other buddy was just kind of like walking around the side of the car and everything else. And you could kind of feel the tension. Yeah. And he saw my 3 kids were in the back seat. And so he was like, okay. He's like, so you guys got kids? Like, yeah, I got 3. They're fine. They're just tired.
These seem like very stupid questions to ask you.
Yeah.
You can go, yep, there's 3 kids in the fucking car. Anyway.
Yeah, and so, he reads everything over. He was like, okay, have a good day and everything else. We were just checking because we couldn't see your license plate. So, and he was like, yeah, he's like, you do realize your car is supposed to have a license plate light. Since when? My car is a 03 at the time. It was a 03. I'm like, I don't think I have one. But I would just go to the store and buy one just in case. But I don't think I have one. And then I got to thinking about it. I'm like, I've never been pulled over in the city of Colorado Springs because they couldn't see my license plate. Never. As much as I drive in the dark, never. Not once. I mean, every street light is like kind of a Christmas tree, but even still, it's like, yeah, no.
Well, so, think about the law they passed for that. It's so they could pull you over.
Yeah. Oh, probably because maybe Black people probably are more prone to driving older cars.
No, or just give them another reason to pull you over. If you have an older vehicle or you have a light that's out, like and you go get your car oil change, they check your brake lights and your license plate lights. Because I actually have a company vehicle, and I was getting my oil change maybe last summer. Yeah, during the lockdown, I got my oil change at Sparkle Quick Lube, and the guy goes back. He's like, "Okay, push your brakes, put it in reverse, left, right." Signals, "Hey, actually, one of your two lights for your license plates out. You want me to replace that? I'm like, I guess so. He goes, they'll pull you over that shit. I'm like, yeah, I know, but it's just another rule to pull you over. Reasonable suspicion.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, yeah, whatever. But even then, it's like, you know, my 03 got totaled. Don't even get into that. And even still, even with my new car that I have, I make sure I have to drive like 5 miles underneath the speed limit just because it's a nicer looking car. It's a newer car. And of course it's black. It's a sports car, you know. And so
okay, player.
Yeah. Trust me. When I get a chance to come see you, you're gonna see what I'm talking about. You'll see what I'm talking about. If you ever get a chance to sit down in it, you're gonna feel what I'm talking about.
All right.
And so, and again, I'm always cautious, and even then, as police officers are like, you know, driving past me, I'm always looking in my rearview mirror and my 2 side mirrors just to see, is he going to put his brake lights on and hit that UE and just kind of, you know, follow me, you know, just to kind of make sure, you know, everything's good and kosher. You know, like, yeah, I'm not doing anything illegal. Not yet, at least. Probably when you pass and whatnot, I might go 2-3 miles over, but you know, that's just because. You know, and even then, you know, knowing that my oldest will be turning 16 in the next couple of years, you know, we're already talking about, you know, he wants a car. Okay, cool. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, well, I don't want to give him a car that's too much for him, because I want him to get messed around and get put in a situation where he's going to have to deal with whether or not, depending on what his response is, if he's going to make it out or not. You know, and it's terrible. It's sad. It's sad. But again, the reality that we're living in, this is what we got to deal with. It sucks, but it's like, yeah.
You have to get him a pickup truck, one of those firefighter lights on top, just to keep him safe. So assume he's white and a firefighter, and they won't pull him over.
Oh man,
you can buy them.
Oh yeah. Oh, but of course, since you got to figure out what decent size pickup truck to get him, because he's not a truck person. He's not.
Most kids that I know are. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Yeah, nah. He likes Camaros and Mustangs. I'm like, oof.
Well, who don't? Shit. I want a Tesla now over any of that stuff, though. That's my goal. Give me a Tesla. I'm out. I ain't buying no more gas. Assholes. Have me quit drinking Dr. Pepper, too, because I stop at the gas station, I get a drink. It's a bad habit, man. If I don't stop there no more, I'm good. I'll stick to my old water, you know. Yeah, it's sad though, man. Like, assumed guilt, assumed suspicion.
Yeah.
Right. She's going to say, but I do have a positive thing though. Out of all of this, he my oldest now. He's running cross country right now, and so you know that's he's tall and everything else, like that. Like I want to get to the point where I want to go to the Olympics. I want to get a fastest 400-meter dash runner in the world. For real, he's like, yeah. Like that's what I want to do. Is like I wanted to be the fastest 400-meter dash runner in the world. I'm like, okay, go for it. You know, like, you know, you running cross now, that's going to set you up. So next time you run track in the springtime, like, yeah, you're gonna shave your time down by a lot. Like it's already cool to know that out of your whole boys track team, you had the second fastest time. And even then, with you, the fastest person on the track team that could run the 400-meter dash, plus 2 others, you guys had the fastest time in the state of Michigan, the lower part of Michigan. You guys had the fastest time in the state. Like, yeah, that means you guys are special.
What's his time? What's his time? I gotta know.
His personal best was like 59. His fastest time was 59. His teammate ran the 400-meter dash in like 52 seconds. Now there's a guy, I think in Sturgis, their fastest guy runs the 400-meter dash in like 48, 47 seconds. The state record is like 44, 43. You know, gotcha.
Yeah. He seemed frozen. I was just like, I think he froze. There he is.
Lightning just struck and knocked out the power in my house.
Oh.
So it just kicked back on. So my Wi-Fi went down, so now I'm just on my cell phone.
Nope, I'll be expecting that one shortly. Trust me, I will be.
Yes, coming your way.
Yeah. He just let me know what's going to happen. But yeah, he runs. My son runs like a 58, 59 for the 400-meter dash. His teammate runs it in a 52 seconds. There's a guy on the Sturgis track team for the middle school now. He ran his in like 47, 48. I think the state record is like 43, 44. It's up there. It's up there.
Wait. I think those numbers are off. He ran a 40-something in middle school?
Who, my son? Or the
somebody.
The middle school? Yeah. Like 40, I think, like I said, in the 400, his fastest time was like 47, 48. 47 seconds, 48 seconds.
Yeah, if that's the case, that's the fastest time. That's for sure.
Yeah.
My oldest boy, Caleb, that went to track. First, he won a state championship. He ran a 50 flat, and that's moving.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, his teammate ran it at like 52. 52 some change. And again, my son was 6-7 seconds behind him.
Mm-hmm.
And again, they were both moving.
Well, if he's got them tall, long legs, he can make up some time. My son Caleb, he's only like 5'6". He just all you see is knees and elbows. His ass is moving. I'm telling you, his foot turnover was so fast. Man, it's amazing to watch him run.
Yeah. It was good to see him run his state. It was like you're going against the best. Like, from you guys in Sturgis to represent the district because you guys both won, because you guys won it. You guys took first place, second place, and you guys are representing the conference. I'm sorry, you guys represented the conference on the state level, and you guys still won. It was like, yeah, because those guys up there was booking too. They were booking it too, but still, for them to place to win everything and be first, yeah, that was a lot. So yeah, he said he wants to do that, but then again, he also said that by the time he gets out of college, that if he doesn't make the Olympic team, what he wants to do is move to Japan and learn how to do robotics and get into doing that. Oh yeah. He said he wants to do that. I'm like, okay. But Japan, he said, because by the time he put it like this, by the time the technology reaches America, Japan would already have like everything else working out. You know, he was like, why not? He's like, the culture there is like, it's awesome. Like, I like Japan. I'm like, okay, cool. You know, probably be one of the first people to actually make an actual working Gundam that actually moves. It flies and all that other good stuff. He's like, yeah, he's like, that's what I want to do. I'm like, okay, cool, bet. Do it. Go for it. Do what you gotta do.
That would be pretty cool.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Kids are awesome, but just don't have them, I guess is all I'd say.
He said don't have them.
Kids are awesome, just don't have them. Borrow one, you know, like have it be a good auntie or uncle or something, because the kids are so expensive. Take all your time up and shit. I'd be a fucking millionaire right now if I have 4 kids. I ain't gonna lie. Think about this. My 4 kids are all 1 year apart, so I paid for driver's ed 4 years in a row. That's 2 G's right out the gate right there. 4 cars. And repairs. And oil changes and tires and brakes and clothes, you know, food, shelter, motherfuckers. Get a dog, you know.
That might be too much for me too.
I mean, I'm actually taking care of my sister's dog while she's out of town. Like, she's dropping my niece off to college.
Oh, nice.
She's going to Howard.
What you want to? Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And it's just, I find it, like, people love to say that cops, you know, have like the scariest job. They're so busy, they're under so much pressure, but then they have time to do the shit. Like, I don't, like,
you know what I said about that is the only reason it's dangerous. I mean, not dangerous. It's always gonna be dangerous, you know, because you have a gun. But all this so-called pressure and stuff is they're creating half their own fucking stress by fucking with people. Stop fucking with people. Support defunding the police and actually hire social workers to take the stress off the cops. There you go, cops. Less stress. Hire some social workers. Hire some psychological professionals. You know, mental professionals, and take the stress off you. There you go. Defund the police. Stop fucking with people.
Yeah, I think there's one city in the U.S. that started doing that, and it's been working super well.
That was in
Colorado.
Portland, Oregon.
I'm not sure.
No, I know what you're talking about. Where they defunded, they actually hired like 25% of the cop force became budgeted for mental health professionals and social workers. I can't remember where that's at. Of course, my computer's down, so whatever. I was gonna look that up.
Yeah.
But there is a whole. I can't. Damn it! I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I know Camden did some stuff. I don't know if it was Camden, but they like reorganized their entire force. They might have had something separate going on, where they just kind of reconstructed their entire department and built it back up. There's been a lot of criticism of it, but it did like get down some of the, you know, it did help in different ways. But I think it created a lot more surveillance. But I don't know if Camden was the one that did this either.
I mean, I'm all for with like just tearing it down and then rebuilding it into something new. Because that's kind of what needs to happen. They keep just like, I mean, I could speak in like code terms, so this is gonna sound weird, but it's like when you like code a template, and then you have to give that template to, you know, another person who doesn't quite know how to code, and then they start giving it to other people who don't quite know how to code, and then it comes back to you, and it's like, what the fuck is this shit that you just gave? It's like, this isn't how you do it. Why didn't you just ask some questions? I would have been happy to help, but that kind of seems like what the police force is. They just keep like slapping on like bullshit on top of bullshit on top of bullshit. Like, this will fix it. No, this will fix it. It's like, no, you really just have to tear it down and rebuild it. It's not like I'm saying to like abolish police. Like, no, I don't think so. I think, you know, having, you know, some sort of police's is necessary. But, you know, where policing had started from, its roots, you know, the fact that, you know, like white nationalists and KKK have like embedded themselves into the police force, and all that, and like how there's like this obvious separatism with like people who lean right seem to more so, you know, accept the police, and then people who lean left, like, you know, it's like that's their enemy. And also the fact that more like right-leaning politicians do market and promote themselves to, you know, police officers and, you know, and the police force. So there's going to create some sort of division, and there's just all this bullshit within the police system that doesn't even need to be there. It's just, you know, they need definitely more training. They need a lot more mental training. Like, I think they should at least have like a minor in psychology. They, you know, they should definitely know like some basic, what's it called, like martial arts. You know, whether it's like kung fu or, you know,
not Brazilian jiu-jitsu, yes.
or something like that. Like, I think in Japan, like every police officer knows like basic kung fu. That's why I thought of kung fu, or maybe it's karate. I can't remember. It's one of those. Just to know how to just destabilize something and not just be like, oh, these two teenage black women are fighting. One of them has a fucking like Applebee's steak knife. Let me shoot her. It's like, that's like, what?
Holy shit! Yeah, that's right.
It's like, that's hella extreme. It's like,
I think in Portugal they require their police officers to have a law degree and a purple belt in Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
For hand-to-hand combat, for disarming someone or not going to your weapon.
Right, absolutely.
You just put them in a bar and they're under control, you know?
Right. There's a lot of
risk control.
Right. There's a lot of situations that we see is
I'm a wrestler. So.
like a lot of situations that we see, and granted, you know, these situations, you know, go viral for a reason. Sometimes not. Sometimes they're just like videos that anyway, like a lot of it is just like just massive escalation of the police, and it's just like unnecessary escalation, and you know, it's just sad and it's frightening because like we all sort of see all the same videos more or less. So if I get pulled over by a cop, you know, I'm thinking probably the same thing that, you know, he is, if he's especially like a white male, and he's like probably looking at it in some different perspective, and he probably won't try to de-escalate the situation because he's probably just like, I don't know. Like, I hate like thinking what other people might be thinking because you never know. It's just, you know, based off an assumption. But I don't know. I'm just, you know, kind of fretting those sort of possible encounters. Oddly enough, it's South Florida, from like what I've been told from, you know, a lot of like Black people and people of color. I don't know. The police don't really like bother you that much down here. Does it happen? Of course. But from what I've been told, like a lot of people who've moved from like New York and Connecticut and things like that, who moved down here, they're like, yeah, this is, you know, definitely the best place for like Black people, which is ironic.
I got an answer. I got the answer to that. It's called the Cocaine Highway. They're getting paid.
Possibly, yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I just feel like there's so much crazy shit going on in Florida that, you know, police officers don't really have time.
Too many Florida men.
Yeah, it's like, oh, that guy ran a red light. I don't have time for this. There's a gator in somebody's backyard. I gotta deal with that. Like,
Get it in the trunk. Like, I don't know what's going on in your state, Al, but y'all need some help.
Oh no. It is funny too because my man here, he's actually from Florida.
That's true. Right.
He's from Florida.
Well, it's funny. The funniest stories, the funniest news articles always start with Florida man. Buckle up.
I mean, that's our governor too. Our governor is Florida man. I think like one of the news articles did say like Florida man governor. I was like, this is a real article. Why did you name it?
Wanted to draw attention. They wanted.
Yeah, I know. What a governor, like Florida man.
The thing where someone ate someone's face, that was like maybe bath salts. That was Florida, right? That was like pre-Florida man as a meme, where like
I think
that was
just starting. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember that happened. And I was like, "What is happening?" But at that time, I didn't associate the craziness with Florida. I just thought, "Wow, it's the end of the world." People are eating people's faces off.
Yeah, bath salts was no joke, man. What's the other one? There's a synthetic one that makes people lose their mind too. They call it
like spice.
The K spice or whatever. Yeah. I was thinking of K-hole. That's ketamine. That's different.
That's true. Mish brought up an actual fun game.
Yeah, I've seen that one. Sometimes Googling that though just gives you the game itself, and I was like, no.
Oh, that's a great idea.
But I don't want to do that.
Florida man, July 27th.
This was on my birthday this year. Florida man arrested for wielding signs showing aborted fetuses at school.
Okay.
That was this year.
Okay.
I guess another one from 2019. What does this one say? Florida man asked Walmart employee for anything that would kill 200 people. Jeez.
Wow. Well,
he had a list.
A specific number. But
I don't want to take the time to make this discreet.
Yeah. I gotta go. The party's gonna be over in 30 minutes. Let's go. Hurry it up.
Criminal minds, but dumbed down. Like they didn't even attempt to like conceal their actions.
Criminal minds. Lack thereof.
Right, man. Oh man, so much good topics. Boys, is there anything you wanted to ask?
Like I don't have daughters. Like I don't have black daughters. Mm-hmm. What do you think is the biggest difference in raising black daughters compared to black men? Like I have my own ideas of what I think it would be, but I want to hear what your point of view is with it, as being a father of a girl.
Okay, my daughter,
and also a woman too.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you want to go first now?
Sure. Yeah, so I have like a lot of siblings. I have 3 older brothers and 3 older sisters. So I definitely saw, the perspective of it. Like, and also just from seeing, the news and news articles of things like that as well. It's sort of, but in terms of like the perspective of raising, I'd say, at least in my case, and I could just be from, having a Jamaican background, I felt like the women in the house always had to like be mindful of like cooking and cleaning and doing more like traditional household stuff. While even though like my brothers can cook, and they cook more so now, I guess, because like they have partners, but they weren't really like tasked with that, which is always annoying. I grew up because like my 3 older brothers were closest to me in age, so I grew up pretty much like growing up with them. So I played video games, was into anime, still am, but like I was more into that. So my mom would always like want to like kind of push me away from that, which was sort of annoying. She didn't really like allow me to embrace that, but and I felt like the boys could sort of just kind of get away with anything, like they were allowed to just kind of like come home late. My mom didn't really like give like a huge stink. I just felt like they just had a lot more freedom to do stuff, and I didn't feel like I had as much freedom, which was kind of annoying.
Sounds like America.
Yeah, no, pretty much that. I guess I'm just trying to think like in terms of like growing up. Like, I don't know. Yeah. That's kind of like in terms of In terms of growing up, that's pretty much it. I just had, but it was just annoying, you know, like just like the like the traditional gender roles. It just felt like sexism, which was like, why do I have to clean? They need to know how to. Like, they need to clean too. Like they're humans. I mean, they're not like dirty people, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
My question is, can they braise oxtail?
Probably not. Honestly, I can't. Which is sad
okay,
because,
then.
yeah,
I'm thoroughly disappointed, Danelle. I'm disappointed.
I'm apparently not a real Jamaican woman because I don't quite know how to.
Well, not even because this is one of my favorite dishes now, man. Me and my girlfriend went to me and my girlfriend went to Chicago to an authentic Jamaican joint, and they had the oxtail and the candied yams, and oh my god.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, oxtail is like my favorite dish too. I actually just had
it. It's really good. It's just so expensive to buy the meat is very. It used to be throwaway meat.
It was, yeah. Now it's like a delicacy. That's how it always happens. But I don't know. I guess I just won't be able to please my future Jamaican husband, which I guess I'm supposed to have.
Ouch. Ouch. That's harsh.
What about you, Ron? How would you say is the difference between raising black sons versus raising black daughters?
Oh man, this one it's a dynamic. It really is, and the reason why I say that is because my daughter, she's not really into the traditional girly things. She's really not. She's one of those ones where it's like she's very goofy, very silly, but she's wicked smart. Like she likes to read. She likes to play in dirt. She doesn't like wearing dresses whatsoever. She hates them with the utter passion. Hates them with the utter passion. I think the 2 times this year we got her to wear a dress was she wasn't thinking about it, and I just kind of chuckled and smiled. I was like, you're gonna wear a dress. She's like, no, I can't wear a dress. Like, nah, you're gonna wear a dress. And for Mother's, I think it was for Mother's Day. I think it was for Mother's Day. That's when she wore a dress. And then I think there was another day before that. We ended up having her put in the dress, and she was like, oh. And when she got home, she's like, can I take this dress off, please? I'm like, sure. Do what you got to do. And she's like, okay, cool. She's also the type of person where she doesn't mind getting her hair done. At first she hated it, but now she's like, I get the concept of why I want to get my hair done. I get the concept of why I want my nails painted and everything. And every now and then, if she's taking down her hair, she's like, hey, Dad, can you help me take down her hair? Take down my hair? Like, park it. And I just go in, undo her braids, and she'll get to the point where she will stop doing it completely and just let me do it. And I just work as fast as I can, So by the time I'm done, she's like, is it all done? I'm like, yeah, you got little strands here and there. Can you take down? She's like, okay, cool. So she does that. And again, it's weird because between her and her brothers, they're so close in age that it's kind of hard to kind of separate them. And even then, even if they do separate, it's like they always have a way of coming back due to the fact that they're that close. They've always been close. Even growing up, they've always been close. And every so often, they'll go outside and they'll play basketball together, or they'll go outside and play football, and she will play football right with them, and she will hang with them playing football. She does that. And, she'll crack jokes with them and everything else. And it was like, okay, cool. And even me and her, we have our own little game that we play with each other. And it's like, she'll take off, go somewhere, and I'll turn my back, and then she'll take off in a full sprint, and she will literally jump on me and be like, "Wee, give me a piggyback ride." I'm like, "Dude, you're about as tall as me. Like, no, it ain't gonna be working that way." But she does it, and even then, she'll mess around and give the oldest a piggyback ride just because, and it's like that should be the other way around. She's like, "Nah, I got it." Drop them off and everything else. And it's funny and it's weird because, like, we were between me and my wife, we were always raised like, no, you're not supposed to do that. You're the weaker, blah, blah, blah. But she was like, "Nah, I can hold on. I'm strong enough as any of these boys around here in my neighborhood. I could probably take them on and everything else." So it's like, it's okay to me. I have no issues. I have none. She's like, "But Dad, when I get older, can I get a gun?" "What do you mean?" "I want a shotgun." "Why?" "I want to keep the boys away."
So it's not going to be up to you, Ron. It's going to be up to her.
It is funny. It's funny because it's like, yeah,
me and my girlfriend.
Shotgun keeps all the boys from the yard.
Yeah, my shotgun. Oh man, and everybody thought that I'll be the one to get on. Like, no, she wants her own shotgun just to keep the boys away. Like, she's already asked me, like, "Hey, Dad, can I get a pocket knife?" Because if a boy just decides to try to come up on me, I want to stab him and tell him, "No, you back away from me." I'm like, "Hey,
That is a fact.
Go for it. Like, I'm not gonna give it to you right now. You're only 9 years old, but maybe when you get older, you kind of get a little bit more responsible. Sure, why not?
Both my daughters and my girlfriend have a detachable pepper spray thing for their keychains, on their keys at all times.
Yeah,
like, I don't fuck around because it's a scary world.
Yeah, no, she wants them to let them know, like, no, you touch me, you gonna feel something. You gonna remember not to touch me again. You gonna have a mark to prove it too. She's like, no.
Yeah. You gonna be leaking.
Literally. Literally. But I love her. But she's the biggest cuddle bug ever. The biggest cuddle bug. That's probably like the only other girly thing she might do is if me or her mom are just sitting around, she'll climb up on the couch and just do one of these numbers, just cuddle up with us. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. As long as you feel safe, it's like whatever. No big deal. She takes care of our pets as we can give her. Like, she'll make sure, hey, it's time for you to take a bath, and she'll take each one and get a bath and dry them off and bring them back down, wipe down the bathroom, make sure there's no water and everything else. And she's just very mindful of the animals in general. Always. So it's like she has that tender, nurturing part of her, but at the same time, it is like it shows out in little spurts. And when it does show out, it's like she does a phenomenal job. Like, I can see either being the teacher or one of those two. And she's like, "You think so?" Like, yeah. She's like, "I probably might do either one. I don't know which one yet." She's like, "I like animals, but I like kids. So I don't know yet. I might do them both. You'll be surprised." So my daughter's a handful. She's a handful. And all three of them actually, they will make you question a lot of things in life and just have you sitting there like, did I really just have this type of conversation with this person? Did they really just understand the level of this conversation and the depth? And like, yep. Yes. Yes. And they will ask you some questions where you're going to be like, hold on, let me do some research first and I'll get right back to you. Yep, that's them. From the oldest to the youngest, they will make you do it. I kid you not.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was just looking at some statistics about, Black women and health.
Mm-hmm.
Where higher mortality rates of infants, higher mortality rates giving birth, that concerns me if I was a parent. Also, Black women are, when it comes to healthcare, the nurses think that the Black women should be able to take more pain and disregard their pain. Like my girlfriend has me come with her to her appointments and stuff like that, just to be like an advocate, because sometimes they don't pay attention, because she's having a lot of pain one day in her abdomen. And I was like, you know what? That's not your appendix area, but it could be a ovarian cyst. It could be this. It could be that. Let's go and get it checked out. She's like, I'll wait tomorrow. I was like, nah, let's just go now. And she's like, well, I can wait. I'm like, let's go. So I just grabbed my feet from my shoes and started walking outside. I was like, I'm getting in the car. And she kept wanting to push it down the road, kick the can down the road. We took her, and good thing we did, say to check her out. But I dropped her off and I went and parked the car. And her experience was she was talking about her pain and stuff, and they really just wasn't going to address it. Like, they didn't give her anything yet. We're going to do this scan. We're going to do this thing. We'll give you some pain meds, this and that. And I came in there about 5 minutes. So it says, they're parked pretty far away, and walk about 10 minutes probably. I get up in there. I was like, so what'd they give you for pain? She's like, they haven't given me nothing yet. I'm like, why not? And she's like, well, they said they're going to do this scan and stuff. I was like, what? No. I ring the bell for the nurse. They're like, hey, man, give her something for pain. And she's like, well, we got the scan. I was like, she told me what you said, but that's not right. And she's like, well, if we give it to her now, I was like, she has the right to pain control. Period. No scans, no x-rays, no nothing until her pain is under control. I was like, do I need to call a different nurse? Or I need to talk to the shift supervisor? And she's like, no. I was like, then come on now. I'm giving you the opportunity to do it without, I will go over and around you. I don't care. Just get it done. And she's like, okay. And she walked out and was, shitty. That's okay though. Then the physician came in after her. That nurse didn't come back in no more. But the physician came and brought her pain medication. Sorry about the delay. And he gave her pain meds. I'm like, motherfucker, like those little experiences I've had just in the last year and a half with her. Mm-hmm. And I think about having young daughters at schools that could be neglected, or looked over. And I think about like hypersexualization of young Black women, mm-hmm. Higher rates of sexual assaults per capita, mm-hmm. Pregnancy scares the shit out of me, of course. But like, it's mostly like I can't remember. I read a thing where it's like young Black women, I think it's between the ages of 13 or 12 or 13 and like 20, might not have been 20, but had like a 33% higher chance of being sexually assaulted.
Oh yeah.
And stuff like that. I saw some statistics. I'm like, God damn, like holy shit. That just scares the hell out of me. If I had a Black daughter, I was like, good Lord. I mean, I'm scared. I have daughters, period. I'm scared as fuck, Mm-hmm. Like, I don't want to kill nobody, but, thou shalt kill. That's how I put it. That is an option. That's always on the table. You fuck with my kids, it's, I don't have a record, so, and I'm white. I might get away with it. Let's be real. Mm-hmm. Let's be real, man. That's the facts. I might get away with it. Oh man, I might actually have peers on my jury, not like Black people do. They don't have peers on the jury. They get rid of Black people as fast as they can off a jury.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, like I have a shot of murdering someone if they hurt my kids and get away with it. A higher chance, at least. Let's put it that way, statistically speaking. And I'm higher risk of actually being a fucking serial killer. So,
hey,
it's not a good thing. That's just to help. That's just to help your defense.
I'm just saying it's statistically true. It's like if anyone's gonna be a serial killer in this live stream, it's me. Like that's the truth.
Yeah.
If people said one of these 4 people is going to wind up killing 8 people over a 3-year period, you're going to be, it's probably going to be Boyce because he's the white guy. That's, you know what I mean? Like, that's what we do. We're serial killers. Oh boy.
Man. It's it's funny how you brought up like the over sexualization of Black women, especially the young Black women.
Yes.
True story. Had to have a sit down talk with my daughter, and we were letting her know that hey, you're getting older now, and there's some stuff on you that's developing very quickly than most. She's
hold that down.
And again, and it doesn't help that her cousin is basically the same way. She's very developed. She's only in middle school. Very developed, and it's like, yeah, me and my brother got to talk. He's like, I already got I already got a shotgun. He's like, I'm just gotta buy another gun and whatnot. He said because I know just by looking at her, by the time she gets in high school, it's like he's like, I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm like, I hear you. I look at my own daughter, and again, she's only 9 years old, but she looks like she could very well be in middle school. Very well, she could be in middle school. She looks like she's like 12 or 13. She's only 9, and even some of the boys at the math camp that we went to today, they asked like, how old are you? She was like, I'm 9. They kind of looked at her like, you're a 9-year-old. And then they're like, okay, what grade you in? 5th. And just kind of looked at her again like, ain't no way. Like there's no way. Even the teacher kind of looked at her like, there's no way. And the person that was running it, she asked me, she pulled me aside. She said, your daughter's how old? She's 9. What grade she's going in? The 5th. She told me, she said, you thinking about buying a gun anytime soon? Like, yeah. Like, yeah, I have no record. I can. And even some of my relatives, we went out to a family gathering and they pulled me aside like, Ronnie, how old is your daughter? Like, she's beautiful, but like, how old is she? Like, she's only 9. Like, she's only 9. I mean, she's going into the 5th grade. Like, yeah. I'm sorry, but I don't know what she's eating. I don't know what's getting put into what. But yeah, this is what I'm dealing with. And it's like, and I know that as she gets older, is going to progress even more. And it's like, there's going to be times where it's like, yeah, I probably will have something on me just because. And even then, we talked to her like, hey, there's people, you got to be careful because there's people out in this world who will snatch you up and they will sell you off like nobody's business. Like, I will see you today, the next day you could very well be gone. And like, and she's gonna say, she's like, really? Why? Like, because there's people out here that have sex with kids, and you will probably be the prime suspect. And she said that she thought about it, she's like, really? Like, dude, really? Mind you guys, she's 9 years old, and yet we're already having this talk. We're already having this conversation. And it's bad enough because, like, not even 3 months ago, we had an episode where some suspicious white-looking van was rolling around in the city and was known to be looking around, finding, like, little girls and boys to snatch up and take them away. And we told her, like, if you see that van lurking around this block, you run your butt inside this house pronto. You let me know. Like, I will stand outside and watch that van drive up and down, and I'll make sure he'll see if he comes on this block and if he comes on this porch, oh, he will get met with something. He may not be coming back anytime soon, but again, he could be met with something. And even then, it's like it got to the point where it sunk in. She's like, wow, really? I'm like, dude, yeah, really. Like, there's people there, and total, like, there's countries overseas where it happens on a daily basis. It happens on a daily basis. There's sometimes these little boys and girls, they get strung out on drugs and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're gone. You know, their mom and dad's having a hard time trying to find them, and they can't even find them. The next thing you know, they show up floating somewhere, and boom, yeah, there goes little Billy, there goes little Sarah. You know, they've been looking for them for like 5-6 years, and here they are. You know, and it's sad, it's scary, but yeah, this is the environment that we're living in.
Well, another thing is fetishization. There you go. That's a son of a bitch of a word.
Right?
Yeah, of young black women and just women of color in general. You know, all women of color, the young women are fetishized as well. You know, just there's always that predation, or just not even well, it is predation, but like older boys will seek out the younger girls, even if they are like high school kids. That's another problem. Like when they're freshmen, you gotta watch out for those fucking seniors. What? Let me tell you what. I had to have one. Let me tell you, I went to this kid's house. I knocked on the door. I had to let him know. I said, "Is your dad home?" He goes, "Yep." Bring him out here because he's gonna want to be here for this one. You know, his dad was, "What's going on?" So let's talk outside and close the door. He's like, "What's up?" I was like, "Your son is how old?" He goes, 18. I was like, "My daughter's 14." I was like, and she told me what he said to her, what he proposed. And I was like, if he lays a finger on him or on her, I'm going to hurt your child. He's 18. He's a grown-ass man now. You want to play grown-ass man games, you're going to get grown-ass man prizes. So if your son touches my daughter, I will fucking wreck him. And he's like, you can't come here and threaten my kid. I'm like, I'm not. I'm just letting you know. It's already done. As soon as it happens, it's over. Just expect me. Call the cops because my ass will be here. Because I'm telling you right now, if he touches my daughter,
oh, he getting laid out.
It's over, man.
He getting laid out.
He's break all his fingers, all of them. Those are my fingers. Those shits are mine now. Those are my fingers. You know, like told him, the guy's like looking at me like, what the fuck? He really looked confused. But I was like, I'm just, you know, I got no ill will to your son. I don't know you. I don't know him, but I'm just letting you know that's my daughter. I'm her dad. And that's what comes along with it. This is a package deal.
Mm.
If your son touches my daughter, she's 14 years old. She's an innocent child. And if he messes that up, I'm going to mess up his innocence as well. And he's like, okay, understood. I was like, all right, man, you take it easy, man. Keep him out of trouble. And I just left. I was 2 blocks from my ex-wife's house. He talking that shit, you know, talking shit to her on the way back from the bus, you know. That damn bus, that's a breeding ground for crazy people right there, high school kids. But yeah, I had to walk down there and tell him, I was like, hey, I'm going to destroy your child if he touches my daughter. You know, like you have to be aggressive, you know, in those moments.
That's true.
You got to scare the shit out of them. You know, and just raising daughters is scary, man. It really is.
Agreed.
Like my girlfriend, she's got 3 sisters. There's 4 girls and her poor dad. And I'm like, I asked him, I was like, Levi, how'd you do it, man? He's like, how did I do what? I'm like, 4 daughters, 4 beautiful daughters. How the hell? He's like, Diana was the oldest one. She took care of them the most. So, you know, I'm like, oh, I got 2 and I'm about ready to just kill people. 4? Man. You know, and they're all 4 different.
You just don't know how people are raising, like, I don't want to be like sexist. We don't know how people are raising their sons, especially.
Right? True, no, true.
Well, I wasn't raised with a father either, so, you know.
Well, it's not necessarily being raised with or without a father. It's, you know, just how they're raising their sons. Like, I mean, I remember in college, I was like, what, 2021? There was this one guy I was hanging out with, and we were just, you know, talking, and he was saying like how he would be one of those parents who, you know, like his daughter wouldn't be allowed to date, and if they do, they have to like come over, and he would like just sit in between them, like arms around both of them, being that kind of like dad. But like he was like, yeah, but science, whatever, like whatever, just don't get anybody pregnant. Like that's not how. Like
Yeah.
You know.
But it is pretty typical.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's parenting is scary, man. It's the biggest challenge. It's the greatest challenge and the greatest reward of my life, you know. So, and I've damn near made it. Like they're almost, because the oldest boy, like I say, is gonna be a junior in college, and then my oldest daughter graduated. She's a freshman in college, and my youngest two are both seniors in high school. So, one more school year.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my girlfriend's son just graduated, and she's a teacher, so we gonna be chilling after that. I'm looking forward to it. Man, can you guys hear that?
Dude, I hear.
Like what, the rumbling, thunder and lightning out here is like really loud.
No, I can't.
You guys don't hear it? Okay, that's good.
I'm getting it. I hear the rain like on my windows, and then I just heard like a bunch of sirens going off. So I'm like, okay, this is what's happening now. Like, got it. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna end this thing. We're gonna end this thing. Yeah, we're gonna end this thing, and thank you guys for joining in for this stream. Again, like I said, you know, we got different perspectives. We may not have dived into everything. That would have took the whole long time. Oh, a long time.
That's a serious.
Yes. Jeez. Yes, it is. But even still, like, you know, if you guys have any questions or if you have any concerns, feel free to reach out to us. We don't bite. I promise you, we don't bite. Some of us don't bite hard, but still, we don't bite.
I nibble.
There goes my power. I just saw my lights flicker. So, yeah, it's gonna get bad. So, all right, you guys, we'll catch y'all next week. Be safe, be easy. And again, as always, thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you, Boyce, and thank you, audience.
Oh, yeah.